You think you are brave enough to watch some really shocking videos? Well, we'll see about that. You head over to visit your friend in his apartment, and on entering inside, you greet a dog you meet in the living room. Then, your friend tells you he does not have a dog. What do you do? You want to get prepared for having a great movie time. Then things begin to go awkward. There is an unusual child laughter and things begin to fall just as doors are closing.
Gonna get some juice first. Gonna get some juice for my movie. Gonna get some juice. Orange juice. Give me this orange juice. Gonna get some popcorn. Okay. Hello? No way, no way, no way, no way, no way, no way. Oh, no, 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 no.
What do you think is the first thing you would feel when you die? Cold, fear, or happiness? This video shares more light.
Okay, when the person goes through the death experience and they're dying, they said the first thing, they feel very cold. Then the next instant, they're standing by the bed looking down at the body. It's that quick. They say it's just like getting up from one chair and sitting down in another chair. You just slide right out of the body. So they're standing next to the bed looking down at the body and they'll say, gee, I didn't know I looked that bad. And believe me, the last thing they'd want to do is go back into that body. Usually it's sick or it's diseased and there's no hope of it ever getting well. They don't want to go back to it because the next thing that comes into their mind is, hey, I'm out of there. I'm free. I can go anywhere I want. I can do anything I want. So that's what they want to do. They want to go on. They want to go home, really. It's the people who are left behind are the ones who grieve about it. They want them to stay with them. But do you really want them to be back in a body like that most of the time there's no hope for them? It's better to realize to let them go, because when you hold on to it, you're being selfish. It's just for yourself. I'm going to miss them. I want them to be with me. I don't know what I'll do without you, that kind of thing. It's a selfish thing, because really, the parts I'm going to go through is you make a contract when you come in. And in this contract, you also make an exit plan. So all of this is planned before you ever come into the life. So the person is ready to go on. They have completed their mission. They have completed everything they were supposed to do. They don't know this consciously, but it is part of a plan. So the person who is grieving doesn't understand that. It's time for them to go. They are going back home. And you have to continue with your life as part of your plan and your contract. Anyway, the first thing they say is, oh boy, I'm out of here. I'm going to get to leave. I can go home. And I've found you are never alone. This is one of the greatest fears people have. They think when they die they're going to be alone, going into the great unknown. That's not what happens. You are never alone. You're never alone when you're alive either, but you don't realize that. Because when you come into a lifetime, you have a guardian angel, if you want to call it that, a guardian angel or a guide that is assigned to you specifically. They have to be with you your entire lifetime. They have to take care of you. They have to be there for you. And they love to help you. but they can't interfere. They can only help if you ask for help. And if you do, boy, do they take over. But sometimes it can be a deceased relative that is assigned to you to be your guardian angel. But you do have one. And if your life gets a little complicated, you may have more than one. You can have as many as 4, all taking care of different things. And if your life takes a sudden turn in a different direction, sometimes these guides will change places, and another one will come in that has more expertise in your field that you're going into. So you always have somebody there. So whenever you actually die and leave the body, you always have someone, I call them the greeters. Someone will come to meet you and take you where you're supposed to go. Now, all of you have probably been with somebody dying in a hospital, and they see unseen people around the bed. Have you ever had that happen? Usually it's deceased relatives. They see them standing around the bed. This is very real. The doctors and the nurses try to say, well, it's just the drugs or the oxygen deprivation because they're dying. No, it's very real. And I've had other nurses say it happens a lot, that they will see people there, and you notice they're always very happy. So-and-so is here, you know, and they know they're going to go with them. Husband, relative, or whatever it is.
Hear me out. Who do you think runs the world? And for the love of God, why do they run it the way they do?
Get ready for wars in the name of the free, vaccinations for illness that will never be, the assault on your children's impressionable minds, and a microchipped world. You'll put up no fight. Information suppression will keep you in tone. Depopulation of peasants was always our goal. But eugenics was not what we hoped it would be. Oh yes, it was us that funded Nazis. But as long as we own all the media too, what's really happening does not concern you. So just go on watching your plasma TV, and the world will be run by the ones you can't see.
Focus. Pay close attention to every second of this video, and just before it ends, there is something in the background you must not miss. The first red flag is the sound that comes on shortly after the video starts. Then shortly after, the creature that pops up next. The eyes, they never lie, and these eyes say a whole lot of things if you're willing to read them right.
Do you really believe that human beings are demons?
No, I do not. And don't you ever say I did. We wrestle not with flesh and blood, but principalities and powers.
Did you know that the reason God flooded the earth during the times of Noah wasn't just to punish mankind? Rumor has it that there were some creatures that God needed to get off the face of the earth, and that explains why he made the flood happen.
fallen angels were kicked out of heaven, and what they taught mankind may shock you. This revelation also helps us to see the full picture as to why God flooded the earth in the days of Noah. It wasn't to be mean and vengeful, but to wipe out the fallen angel Nephilim and their offspring, the giants, who corrupted mankind and taught them forbidden knowledge we still use today. Before the great flood of Noah that flooded the entire earth, Genesis 6:4 tells us that there were giants in the earth in those days, and after that, when the sons of God came into the daughters of men, and they bare children to them, the same became mighty men which were of old, men of renown. These are the fallen angels who rebelled against God and were kicked out of heaven, leaving their first estate as mentioned in the book of Jude. When we look to the book of Enoch, an extra-biblical text not found in the Standard Bible, we can learn the destruction and devastation the giants were creating on the earth at that time. In chapters 7 and 8 of Enoch, the fallen angels who fell and came to earth took women as wives, just like mentioned in Genesis 6:4. They teach humans magic medicines, incantations, the cutting of roots, and about plants. The origin of folk medicine is therefore ascribed to these angelic beings. The children of the angels are giants standing 300 cubits, that'd be 450 feet tall. These giants eat so much food that humans cannot feed them anymore. The giants proceed to eat humans as well as all other kinds of animals. In addition to teaching humans to interpret a wide range of signs, they teach humans medicinal magic. The angel Azazel teaches humans metalworking, including making of ornaments and weapon making. Azazel also teaches humans how to make eyeshadow and other physical ornamentation. Other angels teach humans how to track the stars, astrology and divination, and the signs of the moon. Enoch chapter 69 verse 18 tells us of the angel Gadriel, who taught people how to perform abortions and how to strike people so they die. The stroke of the embryo in the womb to diminish it, the stroke of the spirit by the bite of the serpent, and the stroke which is given in the midday, the offspring of the serpent, the name of which is Tebet. These angels are responsible for teaching humans all sorts of sinful practices. Humanity fell through Adam and Eve's sin in the Garden of Eden, but once the fallen angels came to the earth and taught humans even more evil, their sins completely overtook them. Genesis 6:4 tells us this fact. Then the Lord saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every intent of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually. The reason for God flooding the earth was to cleanse the earth of the fallen angels, their offspring the giants, and the evil forbidden knowledge they taught mankind that had overtaken the earth.
You could think it is just a movie, but in reality, it might not be. Like this clip, it could contain details of real-life scary episodes.
Let's talk about one of the most disturbing episodes of Mujer Casos de la Vida Real. This episode is so disturbing. I don't even know who approved of this, but I guess. If you don't know the show, it was a banger with Mexican moms. It ran from 1986 to 2007. And the show basically takes people's real sad or disturbing stories and makes them into TV episodes. Does that sound familiar to you? Because, yeah. I saw somebody post screen caps of this episode on TikTok, but I want to show you the videos and kind of explain it to you. The episode is called El Niño Sin Ojos del Globo Rojo. The Kid Without Eyes with the Red Balloon. And it aired in 1998. It wanted to tackle the real issue of kidnapping in Mexico, and they sure did, but with such a sad story.
Lamentablemente, casos como el que hoy les contaremos hay muchos, demasiados.
So in this episode, it's a mom and her 2 young children. And one day, the son starts bragging about how these men at his school want to gift him a balloon. Obviously, the mom and sister are like, stop, like, stranger danger, stranger danger. But the kid is like, whatever about it. But it's revealed that these men that want to give the son the balloon have been stalking him and have found his home.
Hay que darle marcha ya. Vamos a la escuela. Y ahí.
The daughter then comes back crying, saying that her brother has been kidnapped. Now I'm gonna fast forward a little bit, but this is where it gets really disturbing. So one day, as the mom and daughter are grieving, they hear a knock at the door, and this happens.
Ángel, mi amor, qué bueno que llegaste. Angelito, te quiero, mi amor, que te quiero.
So if you don't understand what happened, the son was dropped off with a red balloon and no eyes. And the men that kidnapped him have left some money for the mom as payment for the son's eyes. And not trying to scare you, but stuff like this actually does happen. Hence the creation of this episode. So please stay safe out there and do not talk to strangers.
How long does it take you to notice the odd thing going on in this video?
I've generated several $1 billion for Sony. I own half of Sony's publishing and I'm leaving them, and they're very angry at me because of it, but I just did good business, you know. The way they get revenge is to try and destroy my album. And Tommy Mottola is a devil. I'm not supposed to say what I'm going to say right now, but I have to let you in on a secret.
Say it.
Mariah Carey, after divorcing Tony, came to me crying. She said to me that this is an evil man. And Michael, this man follows me, she said. He taps her phone, and he's very, very evil. And she doesn't trust him. And he is a horrible human being. We have to continue our drive until he's terminated.
You could think you have a strong mind like in this video, but what your strong mind needs to crumble is an actual scenario where you are the primary character.
I just got back inside the house. I was putting my daughter on the bus. And I came in, nobody else is here, and I'm hearing something on our basement stair. Right there. I'm gonna check it out. Stop. Hello?
Do not look in the mirror. That was the undoing in this clip.
The Dark Visitor.
Fucking water again. Showers up. Why my water bill's $600 a month. Woo, woo, woo. Again, well, I'm standing right here. I don't know what you want me to do, Bob. See, nothing in here, man. Nathan, time to move. It's time to fucking move.
But isn't Joe Biden president? Why does this pastor get so hysterical?
The Associated Press said that Joe Biden is president. The media said Joe Biden's president.
What would you do if you heard your voice calling out to you from the room? maybe this was a bit too much scary time. Just maybe.